It's hard to believe it's already been 5 days since the release of Season 11. We're all trying to get used to the new map, get adjusted to it, figure out what drops are good, what drops are bad, where to find people. Still trying to figure out if the map is just too big for Apex or if it's just different. Let's discuss it. So first things first, let's take a look at the overview of the map. Now, all the red circles are where, in my experience, I've seen a lot of people like to drop. Now, I don't really even know if there's necessarily a hot drop spot yet, but if I had to choose one, I'd say Barometer is definitely up there. But all these red circles, you're going to see a lot of players going there. Now, all the green circles are pretty much where you land and you're by yourself like 9 times out of 10. Now, that's to my own experience. It might be different for you, but all the green circles are where I've landed and I'm just completely alone with my team. And the pink circle, as you see there's only one, that is the Prowler's Den. That is where everyone ends up after they got done looting. You're always going to hear gunfire and you're going to wonder where it is. It's going to be in the Prowler's Den. Everyone always ends up in the Prowler's Den. And obviously the problem is that people are fighting the Prowlers, which then in turn causes people to go towards that area because they hear gunfire. And then there's like 15 teams. Now the one thing that I do like about this map, unlike a lot of the other maps that we have, there's a lot of places that are not actual named POIs that have a lot of loot. There's actually a lot of buildings that you can actually loot and then go into an actual POI and fight. There is so much loot just off to the side in this map, it's insane. All these little buildings, little areas, bridges and whatnot, there's loot there. There's pills, there's buildings, like there's actual loot in those areas, which you don't ever see that in the other maps. Maps like Olympus maybe have maybe 1 or 2 of those areas, but besides that, it's just greenery and plants. Now pulling the map back up for reference, it really depends on which direction the dropship is coming from. So if it's coming from the south, you're guaranteed a hot drop at Barometer, or Antenna, or Launchpad, or maybe even Cascade Falls if they want to wait that long. But it really depends on which direction the dropship is coming from. If it's coming from the north, North Pad is a good spot for people to land. The Wall, all those places people just immediately drop to. Now, Checkpoint is one that's kind of in between, where sometimes people go there, sometimes people completely just avoid that spot. It's really hard to tell. That could be considered a hot drop, but it's just too early to tell. And I also enjoy the fact that we don't have a Fragment East or Fragment West like on World's Edge, where everyone lands there and the match is over in 2 seconds. On this map, there's actually variety where people land in different spots and, you can actually play the game out. So those are some of the positives, but I want to talk about things that I don't like about the map as well. For one, it would be gravity cannons. People are starting to camp the other side of gravity cannons and just kill you when you land, because obviously if you're not Horizon, you just come to a dead stop when you hit the ground unless you can pull off a slide last minute. But people are just making it so it's like, you're kind of scared to take a gravity cannon now because you're going to get beamed when you land. So that's an aspect that's really cool for the map, but the way players are using it, or should I say camping it, it makes it kind of scary. Another thing would be the Prowlers and the wildlife. It's cool how you can get your Evo armor up from them a little bit, but it really just causes mayhem because when people hear gunfire, they're attracted to it, they run to it, and they come to fight you. So when you're distracted with Prowlers, it's not really so much being distracted with them, it's when they're attacking you when there's an actual squad on you. So you're trying to fight and there's Prowlers attacking you and you're dying to Prowlers instead of the other team because you're trying to fight the team and the Prowlers at the same time, and it just kind of gets in the way. I thought they were going to constrict them a bit more, but they really just kind of roam the wild and start attacking you out of nowhere, even if you didn't attack them. Like I was saying earlier, everybody ends up at the Prowler's Den. Why? Because they hear the gunfire. It ends up being a big brawl at the Prowler Den because there's like 6 squads there. I'm also not a fan of the uphill downhill. There's so much uphill downhill, so many hills on this map, where if someone's above you, you're just going to get beamed because you're running uphill and they're looking at you downhill. So not a fan of that either, I'd say. And last but not least, the end circles. The end circles sometimes just end completely out in the open, and it's because the map is so big. So I had one where we're on the beach and it's literally just open. There's no cover, there's nothing, just literally open. And stuff like that rarely ever happen on the other maps, but for this one, because it's so big, you just have end circles where it's literally a standoff because it's just out in the open. So I don't have a final verdict on the map yet, but I will say so far I do like it. I am enjoying it. There are definitely some aspects about it that I don't like too well, but like I said, it's way too early to tell. This is just my sort of like first impressions of the map. We have a long way to go. There's only 2 more days until we actually have this map exclusively. So it's really going to be weird to go back to World's Edge and then come back to Stormpoint and really see how much of a difference there is. So once that happens, I think we'll be able to get more of a grasp on what we think of Stormpoint. But for now, I just think it's too early to tell. We got to give it some time. But what do you guys think about Stormpoint? Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Do you think it's too big for Apex? Do you think it's too spread out, too uphill, downhill? Let me know what you guys think. And also, if you guys want to see me screaming, yelling, rage quitting, all that fun stuff, you can head over to my Twitch channel. That is the exact same handle as it is on YouTube, JullianGG. I stream Apex literally almost like every single day. So if you want to see me on there, I'm live streaming on Twitch almost all the time. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one.